Yo, what's good, basketball heads? It's your boy Crush. So Kenyon Martin blasts James Harden for wanting a supermax contract. And I would agree, at this stage, the man is 34 years old. What have he done in the past 2-3 seasons? Not much. Yet he wants a supermax. What have James Harden done that warrants a supermax contract? His gameplay don't scream supermax. 2 seasons in Philly, he haven't been able to help Joel Embiid get to a conference finals. Much less the finals, just a conference finals. Yet this man is crying about getting a supermax. Like I said, he's delusional. No one is giving you a supermax at 34 years old unless you're Steph Curry or somebody who's worth a supermax. Steph Curry is a 4-time champion. He's proven. He's a winner. That's the type of player you would give a supermax to. Steph Curry, LeBron James, they're winners. They have won before on multiple levels, so it makes sense. But if I'm a GM, if I'm Daryl Morey, why would I give James Harden a supermax? What have he done? So I don't know why he's running around crying, moping, calling people liar and, just putting on a show because he won a supermax. You're not a supermax player anymore. Maybe you were like 4 years ago, 4 seasons ago, but currently as we stand, you are not a supermax player. It is what it is. You got to come back to reality, man. Come back to reality. Get out your delusional head and come back to earth. You're not a supermax player. You're on the decline. You're getting older. You are almost 35 years old and you're on the decline. So no team is going to invest a supermax in an aging player. Don't you want return on your investment? If I'm going to give you a supermax, I want a championship. Or at least I want to see a finals, and you can't even do that. But in your head, you think you deserve a supermax? Come on, man. So I do agree with Kenyon Martin. There's no way in hell you're getting a supermax. What team, what GM in their right mind is going to give this man a supermax contract? To do what? To lose in the first round? So this is what Kenyon Martin had to say. If I'm James Harden, I can't expect them people to give me another 5 years for $250 million. Dog could give a F what he promises me at the dinner table. If I'm being honest, he'll tell me that shit. I'm leaving that meeting thinking he's a fucking liar. If I'm being honest with myself in this situation, everything I've put on the table, why would someone sign me for another 5 years with the maximum amount of money they can give me? We're naive. And he's correct. James Harden was being naive. Daryl Morey finessed him, convinced him to take a pay cut so they could, improve the team. That's on you. But you thinking he's going to give you a supermax the following season, that's being naive and that's just dumb. Why would they give you another contract for 5 years to do what? To lose for 5 years? Makes sense of this. So James Harden was being naive. Daryl Morey finessed him. Being the president he is, he finessed him. And now James Harden is salty, he's bitter, and he's running around here acting like a girl, crying. You got to be realistic with yourself. You are not a supermax player anymore. You are on the decline. You're descending. I can see if you were able to help Joel Embiid and the Sixers make it to a finals. Even then, you wouldn't be a supermax player, but at least you would have some kind of traction, some leverage. But you dudes can't even make it to an Eastern Conference Finals. You can't even make it to an Eastern Conference Finals. But you think you deserve a supermax? That's being delusional, man. That's being a diva and that's being delusional. You got to be realistic with yourself. Come back to reality, James Harden. Come back to reality. You got to live in the present, man. We can't live in the past. You was the man back in the days, a few years back. You was that dude. It's a new day. New day, new rules, new situation. And today, in 2023, as it currently stands, you are not a supermax player. You're still a good player, but a supermax? Come on. That's Steph Curry. That's LeBron James. So in response to Kenyon Martin's point, Gilbert Arenas chimed in, saying that Harden's last season averaged 21 points, 6.1 rebounds, 10.7 assists, which saw him lead the league in assists, does imply he's still worthy of a max contract. Gilbert could feel that way, but I'm not giving James Harden a supermax for 4 or 5 seasons. I'm not going to cripple my franchise for a declining player who can't even get me to a finals. Man, get out of here with that. That sounds crazy. This is why Gilbert Arenas is not a GM or a president, because he would be making bad decisions, crippling the franchise, making bonehead decisions. No one is saying or thinks James Harden has no value. Of course he has value. Nobody's saying he's not good or he has no value, but a super max contract, if James Harden was a bit younger, let's say 3-4 years younger, okay, we could talk. But at almost 35 years old, there's no way you're going to invest 4 to 5 years in a player with diminishing returns. It just doesn't make sense. And even if they gave him a super max, guess what? They won't be making any finals. They won't be making any Eastern Conference finals. So you would be paying this man to do what? Just to be another team to make first rounds and second round exits? Come on. That's just not a good investment, the way I see it. James Harden right now, a 2-year deal is perfect. A 2-year deal is good to me. That makes sense. Maybe a 3, but a 2-year deal to me makes sense. By the time his contract elapses or expires, he'll be 36, 37, which is sensible. But I'm not going to pay this man till he's almost 40 and tie my franchise up and cripple my franchise. That just don't make sense. Financially, I can't see how that would make sense. Harden made his trade request, and the only team that was interested was the Clippers, and that didn't fall through. Also, Kenyon Martin believed this would be a very bad decision for the Clippers organization if they went out and acquired James Harden. Does he make them a better basketball team? Not better than they are now. I like James Harden, but we're talking basketball here. I ain't got time to be fucking gambling and experimenting shit right now. If I'm the Clippers, I'm being honest. I don't. So Kenyon Martin is saying James Harden going to the Clippers wouldn't make him much better, and if I'm a GM personally, I would not bring James Harden in to my organization because he comes with too much baggage, too much drama. Next minute, he's upset about something and he want to leave, and it's just too much. So I wouldn't even bother with that situation. It's coming out that Daryl Morey wanted Paul George for James Harden. He wanted Paul George in a deal for James Harden. So basically, Daryl Morey was trying to finesse the Clippers. Like, why would I give you Paul George in a deal for James Harden? Are you crazy? So I'm going to downgrade my franchise? Let's make sense of this. So I would give up Paul George for James Harden and whatever picks y'all want to throw in. That's a downgrade. Why would I downgrade my chance of making a finals or any chance I have? I'm going to downgrade my chance with James Harden. So Daryl Morey was trying to finesse the Clippers, obviously, with that dumb deal or whatever he tried to do. But come on. No one is going to give you Paul George for James Harden at this stage. No way in hell. We're talking about a top 2-way player for an offensive player point guard who is inconsistent and goes missing in the playoff. Why would I give a PG for that? I'm sure the Sixers organization, Daryl Morey, they'll eventually find a deal for Harden. Eventually he'll be out of there. But for the time being, they just got to work with what they have. I know he don't want to be there, but he just got to work with his situation until they could find a deal that makes sense. Until then, you just got to stay put, suck it up, and play basketball. And I do agree with Kenyon Martin, man. A supermax for James Harden at this stage just don't make sense. At least to me, it doesn't make sense. I wouldn't make that deal. But as always, I'll holla. As always, we just talking basketball. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share. Holla at your boy.
It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about the game. I'ma say it. It's all about the game.